Cool. That's okay, dude. I'm not going to be on long either. I'm just going to be on long enough to give some people some feedback and then kick off. And once I'm done with that, okay, so let me bring up the let's see. I think a lot of these feedbacks I'm going to be giving are people that aren't going to be in the stream. Hey, Tuxedo, thank you for the follow. What time is it over there? I got my handy energy drink. $10 p.m. Come on. What's going on, Grim? It's Feedback Fridays. So I'm giving people feedback today. So whoever wants feedback, post your stuff in my Discord. Link is in the down below. Okay, well, okay. So the feedback is gonna go on for an hour. So if you want to post your feedback at the very end, feel free to do so. So I'm gonna bring up Photoshop and some references, and I'm gonna start on the first one. Okay, so I don't think everybody's here, but it's all right. All right, so link. All right, so this is the first one that was given to me, and I'm also gonna bring up some references too, and I'm gonna draw over this, and let me grab my personal references. So I'm gonna open my PRF. All right, so let's start. Let's start by just kind of talking about reference for a second. So you should always have this kind of stuff when you're making art, like measurements and just like general anatomy stuff. Stuff like this, and you can kind of see how the head sits, or the skull sits inside the head. So this is the kind of stuff that I'm gonna be looking at to critique this piece. Now the first thing I notice on this piece is the brow area is wrong. So we see this here, right? We see this ridge here. This is like where the orbital socket meets the zygomatic. And I think that's what this is supposed to be, but it is sort of unsuccessful because of the because there's not a full understanding of what's going on underneath the skull. So if I were to look at here, right, the orbital, so let's get some tablet pressure on there. Or maybe I want opacity instead. Yeah, okay. So the orbital socket comes around, down, and through here, and you have, like, this person has this, but the apex is also wrong. So you can see how their apex is down here, where the apex is right here. So more back this way. So this socket should come more this way. And then you have this bone here that connects back to the zygomatic, where the temporalis sits. So there's a muscle that connects here that goes through. I think I'm drawing on this. I think I'm drawing on the same layer, but this muscle basically goes through here and connects down here. And so there's also no indication. Veinlash Scourge, thank you for the follow. There's no indication of this muscle as well, which is an extremely important muscle. So let me redraw that because I drew it on the same layer. History. Okay. Okay. Okay, so again, just fucking turn this off. Easier to see. No. Okay. So we have, here we go. Here are my references, right? This bone should come this way, and this should be the apex here. A little bit more here. And then this bone curves down, comes like that. And then where the, let me get the, okay. Just wanted to get, just so I can have some names going, so I'm not fucking shit up. Okay, so where the temporalis is, right here. So the temporalis sits right here, so this region is also super flat too. And like I said before, it comes underneath, connects down, where right behind the masseter. And the masseter is this big, this muscle here that where your jaw is. My music is not okay. There we go. Sorry about that. For some reason I can't hear it in my ears. get some more fun music. Not so serious. Okay. Now, there are other things wrong with this head as well. So this, I know this is just like a practice head, but even if it's just a practice head, sorry, I'm trying to figure out a good place to put this for you guys. We still want to make, even though this is a practice head, we still want to make our forms like super nice, so that we're not training our, even if you're in practice mode, you want to make sure you're not giving yourself bad habits. So having stuff like this kind of lumpy mess here is not good. We want a full confident. We want confidence in our anatomy. So another thing that's wrong here is that the zygomatic goes here, right here where the ear is, where the basically goes back to where the ear hole is. So the actual position of these ears is wrong as well. So we want the ear to be here, and the zygomatic. So here. And then the zygomatic will come back this way towards the ear hole. Okay. Okay, now there's also one more thing. A couple more things. So like I said, so let's get some. Let's get some names. I mean, names of bones aren't that important, but I think we should have them here anyways, just to. Just so we all know what's going on. Okay. Oh. Okay. It's kind of annoying. I don't really like this one. It doesn't show. I mean, I guess it's just one bone, huh? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. So another landmark that we're missing here is the glabella, and that is this part of your face. And what is also known as the key. And there are these ridges that sit right above the glabella here. So you can see it on this guy right here, where the skull is. You can kind of see it right here. And you can see like this artist kind of knows what's going on behind here, but I suspect that it's just by looking at the reference and the reference. So there should be a little bit more mass. Oh, does it? Oh, sorry. Okay. Here we go. How's this? Is this good? Okay. So I was saying before is that there's an area here called the glabella, and the artist here has sort of indicated it, but in the wrong way. The masses that they put on here are very flat, and the transitions aren't that great. So it transitions and then almost is completely not there, and then it's here. So we want, like I said before, we want a confident line where that bone is indicated, and there should be almost a kind of a transition of shapes here, and more volume. You know, see how flat this is? We don't want that. We want volume. Oh my goodness. I'm just fucking this all up today. I'm gonna move the chat. Where should I move the chat? Maybe here? Maybe I should just move it off screen for a little bit. J Ronaldo 95, thank you for the follow. Okay, well, I'll just be mindful of this, and I'll move this over here, and I'll move this over here. Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about the lip anatomy. Now, the lips should. So there's also a volume issue here as well. So we have lip anatomy, but we have no idea how the volumes are formed. How the volumes are formed here. So there is. This is how the shape of the lip anatomy should be. Curl under here. See how blocky these lips are? We don't want that. We want the lip anatomy to be shaped properly. So there are almost like these three planes that you have on the bottom lip. And then the same here. There's a volume here. And then there's a volume here. I'll make these separation lines a little bit more obvious. So let's use a different color. Alright. So, okay. So, here, let me bring you to some lip reference, see if I have any here. Here we go. So, you see how there's a separation, there's a plane separation here? These are the separate planes, and then obviously this lip needs to go tucked under the top lip. Okay, now I also wanted to point out another Another issue with this sculpt, like I was saying before here, so we're sort of missing the bone structure. And I cannot tell you how underrated it is just to kind of, you know, what would really help this person is if they had almost taken a skull and fit it inside the head and see, okay, well, my forms are not sitting on top of the face correctly. And so we can kind of where'd that brush tool go? Oh. Duh. Okay. So really, there should be, this is where there should be a distinct shape here. I should be able to understand that this is the bone. Also, when you're practicing your anatomy, don't skimp out on, like I said with the, like what I said with the this and this. Like don't skimp out on this stuff. Like do this. Like if you're gonna put this in here, make this. Okay. Okay, so let's get some simple. So if you have trouble with anatomy, a really easy way to do this is to just find some easy head planes and just run with this. This is from Anatomy for Sculptors. It's super easy to see like what is wrong with this. So we're missing almost an entire. We're missing like the trachea cartilage that sits here, and we're missing the I believe it's called the hyaloid bone, and it sits right here. And so we want, again, we want these volumes to be correct. So we want try and draw these volumes out the best I can. And then there's a dip here. Now he almost has it. He kind of understands, but what he doesn't understand is that there's a muscle that sits underneath. It comes underneath and it connects here. So it goes underneath this one, it connects here. You can't see it, but this is where it connects. It kind of tucks under here. They have it here. And then the trapezius. Damn it. Okay. So I'm gonna leave this for this person. Zashton, thank you for the follow. Okay, so let's save this and believe this feedback was for Kevin on the Discord channel. So here's your feedback, dude. Remember, guys, it's super important to have reference. All sorts of reference. Okay. So... Okay. Now... Arturog8V, thank you for the follow. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in another one that someone sent me. Cool. Alright, I'm reopening Photoshop. Okay, so someone sent me another one. Cool, so not exactly the same feedback, but I'm sure some of it applies. Okay, so, all right. And let's zoom in. So obviously this is Adam Diver. It seems like this is who that's who this is, I'm guessing. This is by Sir Paddington in the Discord. Sir Paddington the second. Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so let's go over this. Now I'm gonna pick up a picture of Adam, and let's Adam Driver. Now let's see. See if I can find some good references. This one's pretty good. That's a very good reference, actually. I wonder if there are any more like this. References you get from a photo shoot are the best. Because usually they're super serious. You know the lens. Usually in photo shoots they take with a 85 to 95 millimeter lens. No, I think this is fine. I think I can kind of tell what's going on from this one photo. Yeah, you can send your practice of a likeness. Yeah, from the photo shoot. So like when you're doing portrait photography is generally done in a like from 80 to 95, like those sort of more orthographic lenses. It makes people look nicer. So that's when you find reference photos from a photo shoot, you can kind of predict the lens and set that in ZBrush, and you can get a little bit closer in accuracy. Now I'm trying to find another picture of Adam from the facing front. Adam Driver front view. Alright. Here's one that's okay. This is a little bit younger, but I think that's fine. I think it should be fine. Okay. Yeah, that's what you should do. Alright, so already we can kind of tell what's what's wrong here. So let's do this actually. Now almost immediately you can kind of see what's missing on this. So we'll just go back to that area before where this area right here needs a definite bump, a definite volume, like significant more volume. This area seems like very flat. So how the skull is shaped is that there's a bump here, and then this comes down like that, and you can kind of see that where the muscle sits. Draw through, bam, and this is not the same exact angle, but I can already tell that there needs to be some mass taken away from the cheek area, right? He's got like kind of high cheekbones. Let's talk about the mouth. So the mouth shape, you can kind of see that how sharp the top of his lips are, and how round the top of your lips are. So this is kind of what we want here. I mean, we're missing this. This is completely flat. We're missing this volume here. Now you've got the anatomy almost down. There should be a little bit less space taken from here and a little bit more added here. So which you almost have, but you just don't have enough. I believe he has a crooked nose. Oh, his whole face is crooked. So we definitely want to add this sort of line of action on his face. Now your eyes are too big. These need to be like 10-15% smaller. So we can... Oh fuck. I did the same thing where I forgot to Hey Kevin, I just reviewed your art on stream. You missed it. Yeah, I also saved a PSD for you as well. Okay. Cool. So I'm going to filter, liquefy. Now let's see if liquefy picks up. It did, but I'm just going to use this. Okay, so this is kind of a fun trick. Basically like taking what you've done and making adjustments in Photoshop. I can already tell that. See how his face is kind of leaning left? And I can tell that yours is a little bit straight. Now this is probably won't be accurate in 3D, but... And then even his nostrils are not symmetrical. So you wanna... That's the kind of stuff that's the kind of like stuff that you see that is going to take your sculpt from like oh, that kind of looks like Adam Driver to oh, that's Adam Driver. Oops. So once you get to this stage, try and break out of the symmetry. You actually, once you're out of the symmetry, you'll learn quite a bit from. You'll actually learn quite a bit from the asymmetry. Now notice I didn't change the width of your eyes. I didn't change the length of your eyes. I just sort of changed the width a little bit. And his nostrils are kind of a little bit longer. And you're suffering from a little bit of the same problems as Kevin, where you're missing some of the skull inside the head. So make sure we see a little bit, like some indications of the yeah. Let's get this. Let's do this. We still want indications that there is a bone here. So you see right here, right? There's a little bit of an indication, but that's because, hey, what's going on, Polyon? There's a mass right here that you're missing. You're missing this sort of mass where the nasal labia fold is. It's this mass right here that you're missing. And you see this right here because it sits on top of the zygomatic and the orbital bone. So we have this mass here, and you can kind of see as it comes down. And then the eye bags are supposed to sit on the orbital socket. And like I was talking about Kevin's sculpt, be confident. Like, I know this is supposed to kind of look rough, but it's even if you're trying to get that kind of clay sculpture look, you should still have all the shapes of the forms should still be correct. So see how your apex is wrong. You guys got to look for those apexes in your shapes. So see, this is the apex here of this shape here. Here is the apex is the highest point, if anybody was unaware of that. So the peak. So it should really be like that. Right. And maybe like this mouth should come this way a little bit. Okay. And then I think you also have, here's a shadow here, and you have mass here. I'm not sure why. This has got to come. There needs to be, take away mass from here. And so this is a very important area here. This area is called the keystone. It's super important. And then, so let's go back to my main man. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? No. I wonder if I oh, there he is. There he is. Right, so we want this coming around, attaching itself to the clavicle. And your clavicle is like super like V shape. Like we want that S. Oh, I'm probably like, okay, here we go. I'm trying to draw it in like perspective, and I'm like failing super hard. Something like that. And not only should it be an S shape from the side, but it should also be an S shape from the top view as well. So the clavicle goes back as well. And then you have this muscle here. And I know Adam Driver's a beefy dude, so the trapezius muscles look very, very thin. So beef them up a little bit, you know? And again, you're also missing the cartilage here from the, I mean, you kind of got it, but not enough to where so we have these forms. And there's a space here. All right. Does that make sense? All right. All right. Spencer 3D, thank you for the follow. Okay, so I'm gonna save this and I'll throw it in the Discord. Let's see. So Hell of a Lyric posted some stuff on his. He posted stuff on his, but I can't. Like he made the image so small. Maybe it gets bigger. No, it doesn't. Yeah, if you're watching or listening, dude, upload you're referencing your images separately, so I can actually see what's going on. It's very difficult to critique this. It's very tiny, so I'm just gonna kind of skip over that one. What's going on, Indy? Okay. So I have another one here. A likeness of Benedict Cumberbatch. Let's get rid of this. Cool. Now let's get some reference. No worries, man. I've only been going for... Oh, I've almost been going for an hour. Okay, so this will be the last one. Unless you want to post your stuff, Grim. Okay, so... So let's get Benedict... Alright, so we got a good... I found a good view already with some great lighting. Hopefully this image works out. Oh no. Bring me to the original. Let's see photos. See all. Oh my god. How am I supposed to find photos? Damn it. Okay. Facebook used to have like such a good, or not Facebook, Google used to have such a good like search function where you could like search faces, and then they got rid of it, or they hid it somewhere. I don't know where they put it, but they moved it for sure. I mean, this one's good enough for me to be able to see what's going on here. Man, this guy's got beady eyes. Gang of Ninjas, thank you for the follow. It's okay. You don't have to send me your ref. I'll just find some ref that I like. I think the ref that I got is pretty good. I only really need this. Well, I could use one more angle. Okay, this is pretty decent. See if I can find more. Okay. I guess this one's pretty good. It's kind of far away though. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. You guys are gonna have to deal for a second. Let's get to large photos. I want to see. Ooh. Okay, this one's a good one. This one's a decent one as well. Alright. So I got this. I got this. And this. Cool. So I got a bunch. Yeah, I can give you some feedback, Gang of Ninjas. Just send me a link or something that you can share with me so I can post it. And after that, that's the last one, you guys. Oh, and I'll do Grimrocks as well. Alright. Sorry. Indy, we'll talk about all that later. I'm just gonna keep reviewing stuff on people's streams. Or of people's work. Yeah, don't rush it, dude. No worries. I got 2 more people to review. Alright, so we can kind of already see what's going on here. Okay. So this is not like dead on, but it's enough to where I know that his whole face needs to shift. One of the things you guys need to start doing is like, don't be afraid to sculpt asymmetrically. Like just go. Like let go of the sculpt. Once you get to this point, just let go and start pulling shit around. So the eyes. Okay. Okay. All right, let's start here. I don't even know how to read that. I don't know how to read that, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. So let's talk about the orbital socket. So we have a pretty good start here, and we just need to kind of push some stuff. So we're missing a little bit of mass of bone here, right? We're missing some volume. Now he has got very deep set eyes, so you can see by the his brow bone is casting a shadow onto his eyeballs. So you can see here that there's a shadow cast by that. And that's where this comes in. So you see this little, here we'll zoom in here for the stream, but we can see this sort of sagging skin, and it's hanging off of this where it used to be tight. It's starting to kind of sag now because of age. So really, let's back up here because I forgot to start a new layer again. So there should be right. So even just above here, right? Like you could see the overhang. So you need to set these eyes back in. You have right now you have this kind of sagging skin just sitting on top of the eyelid, and you're missing a major part of his characteristic, his deep set eyes. So if you do that, this can now hang, right? He doesn't have these sagging eyelids here, just right here, and then it sort of attaches to the brow bone. Sure. I guess that's what it's called. That's good to know. And then the actual shape of your eye is not correct either. So you have very kind of like generic shape eyes. and you want this, right? You want this sort of dip, the slight dip here, and then a pinching caruncula, right? It sort of kind of pinches here. It's like this triangle shape. I mean, you kind of have a triangle shape, but it doesn't. It's not shaped correctly. And then this will come back a little bit earlier, right? You almost have it. You're like pretty close, actually. I think it's just like maybe this shape, and then the width. I think you could kind of make it a little bit thinner, a little bit. You could kind of squish it a little bit because it's too wide. All right, let's liquefy this son of a bitch. It'll probably be easier if we just liquefy. Then draw over. What is this? Copy, sure. So if we were to see, even you can kind of see that. See how this sags more than this? So that kind of stuff you also have to pay attention to as well. And so like how this nostril is more like this. Actually, this whole nose needs to come this way. And the right here, this section here is not wide enough, and this section doesn't have enough mass. So we'll just kind of correct that. Shit. Alright, I guess so. Just put it on the pile. Okay, so let's talk about these lips. Well, let's talk about his face as well, because his face needs to come way in. I know. I have to stop taking feedback at some point. These eyes could probably be a little smaller, actually. Okay. Now the lips need a little bit more oomph to them, I guess, right? See how much there is here? And then let's see at another angle, because that might be like, that might be just the angle. Let's see, he's smiling here. His lips are pretty voluminous. don't like pictures of smiling. Is not really great. This is a good one. He does have very square lips. And then this is weird. This should not be. Try not to sculpt people when they're smiling. And then let's get that face. So I can already tell that we're missing some mass right here. His chin is too chiseled. You know, see all this like kind of sag he's got here. Let's see if I can. Come on. All right. Push the guy in. Kind of see we're starting to get some results. And then if I were to do something like this, I might, you know, kind of set that in a little bit more, you know, where his eyes need to be. Make those eyes more deep set. Alright, I'm not going to sit here and try and do too much of a paint over. And then same neck problems as everybody else that I've mentioned on here. Okay. Okay, so let's see. So Gang of Ninjas is next. Okay. So this one I don't have to paint over, thank God. Okay. A sword. So the first thing I notice on this piece is that the actual sword itself has way too much bump to it. Let's get some reference. Is it Oxtail Dow Sword? Come on, Google. Cool. So already, just by looking at the blades, so when we look at steel, steel does not look like this. Steel is very smooth, right? This almost looks like what cast iron should look like. And I know that there's a newer artists will have a habit of it's okay, dude, I'll just Google. Well, I guess I'll take a look at the references. Okay, yeah. I think even in your references, like, I can kind of see the blade wear here. Yeah, these are super tiny. So I can't really see no references, but let's blade. I still think the overall shape should be smoother, and you have like cracks with dirt or scratches with dirt in them. So I don't think the blade is ever gonna get that rough. Even I'm looking at this blade right here. I just searched warm blade in Google, and this blade is not even that. It's not even that rough. I don't know what the fuck's going on with my Streamlabs. Is like fucking. My Streamlabs is screaming at me. Okay. Let's keep looking at this. Now I think you could definitely benefit from some gloss breakup. We just have like this super glossy. What is going on? This super glossy surface here, and I think it's just like very, very. Not really that interesting to look at. It looks almost like it's supposed to be. I could tell that it's supposed to be like kind of like almost like lacquered wood, but it's too glossy. It almost looks wet, and we would expect to see some sort of wear and tear from like maybe like dirt buildup from where this has been sitting on for years and years. You know, when you take the sheath, the sword out of the sheath, this metal is gonna sort of kind of wiggle around a little bit, and it's gonna rub against the wood. So I would expect to see some kind of worn edge wear, like around here where the wood is. I'm not sure what you're rendering in. The gold here looks very yellow and not like gold. I thought I just... Okay, yeah. Let's see if I can find some examples. So even here, I think your gold is too... Your gold or brass, it probably should be brass. So just from searching from a couple examples, is way too saturated. I would turn the saturation down quite a bit on this part. You could see in both these examples how desaturated the yellow of the brass is. Same kind of critique for the wood as for this grip. The grip looks too shiny. Not enough breakup. I would even expect to see like gloss breakup between the non-laced sections and the laced sections. just to give it a more interesting breakup, as you would like turn the blade and see. Don't post this. If anybody is wondering how long it took you to do, they'll ask you in the interview. And then overall, I think your presentation could definitely use some love. I think your lighting is very, very flat and is not really doing the normals of your piece justice. When you present stuff like this, you know, give it some mood. Let's see if I can find on ArtStations a good example of like a good presentation. Great. Perfect. Well, this one's okay. I like this one. Yeah, okay. This one's awesome. Okay. This one's killer. Okay. Now look at the presentation on this. Now, we do have a black background, which I think could be better, but that's okay because the lighting is super good. You see the sword in the hilt, being pulled out. Really, really cool, kind of moody. There's very like harsh lighting, so we get, or there's enough harsh lighting where we get like the sort of highlight right on the hilt, and then some reflective lighting from the back. It's not as lit over here and up here. This is the artist is telling us, hey, this is this is where I want you to look. This is a great viewing angle. This is an awesome angle. So this is the kind of presentation that I like to see on something, on an asset like this. So maybe try and I'll post this link. All right. So I think, let's see. There was one more person. Fritz on Fire, I think you wanted something to be reviewed. And then Grim said you might have something done. Oh, you sent it on Discord? Which one? Oh, you PM'd it to me. Okay. All right, all right. Okay. Cabo Waki, thank you for the feedback, or not the follow. Now my head is going. Okay, so let's review this first. Why is there a question mark on the end of this JPEG? The fuck? All right, so this is clearly Tom Cruise. So, okay. Tom Cruise reference. Tom Cruise. Images. So there's a... Okay. Perfect. These are also not great screenshots. So it's gonna be hard for me to give feedback, but I'll do my best. When you post screenshots, just orthographics are great. Okay, so I'm gonna try and I'm going a little bit over time, so I'm gonna try and go a little bit quicker with this. So you're missing. I can already tell. So you're missing some essential stuff. You're missing the. You're missing the Cruncula here. That's supposed to be here. So you're missing that. Okay, so your nose is far too wide and not bulbous enough to where he has it. His nostrils are actually much closer in, right? And they come in here, and his and then this is too, the bridge of his nose is too thin. And his eyes are too big. These need to be like, I think these need to be shrink down like maybe maybe like 15%. And then you're also suffering what everyone else is suffering, the missing this. Damn it. There's also a plane here where the head dips. So you have the frontalis, but in the skull, there's like a part where it almost dips down. Not that much, but there's, if you feel right here, you can feel, if you go like this, you can sort of feel a dip where this part is and this part is, right? Feel here, and then there's a dip right here. That's what you're missing. I think what I would do if I was you is I would go back to the I would go back to the eyes, and I would readdress the eyes because they're very big. Yeah, how many people? This transition is too hard. Plane draws. Sorry, plane draws. Thank you for the follow. So this, the profile looks like it's probably okay though. Although I don't have reference. Fritz on fire. Thank you for the follow. Whoa. I need some reference for the profile view. I can already tell that this area is way too much. You kind of aged him a little bit. You made him older than he should be. He looks like he's about, like, in his almost 70s here. Tom Cruise profile shot. Images. It's gonna be hard to find one that is age appropriate, but I will do my best. Okay. Fuck it, I'm just gonna use the one that I found. Alright, so we can kind of tell already that the nostrils here are too far back and are not tilted enough, right? And this needs to be a little bit straighter. And this is too intense. We gotta knock this down. And so you see what I was talking about here, where this is too harsh? You see how that transition is soft? So a lot of the times we perceive the jawbone as like the defining feature, right? But in reality, it's I believe this is called the masseter. Yes. So in reality, it's this part of the masseter that's giving it the volume. So soften this transition here. Let's go back to the mouth. I would kill these eyebrows, and because I can't really critique this. This is a very hard area for me to critique because his eyebrows, like, well, what I can't tell is that the mass here is just so much. There's so much mass here, and it's a little bit too much. It's very, very crazy. Remove these eyebrows and rework this area, because I think what you might have done is just by looking at this area, the shadows of this area, I think you might have dug too deep into this area, because his eyes are not that far back. He's unlike Benedict Cumberbatch. His eyes are not inset, which is why this folds over his eyes. This eye bag, just get rid of that. He has, so this area here needs more mass. You can see it here, that this area is more like, there's a little bit of mass here and a little bit of mass here. But this area is mostly empty. And then you have the eye, sort of the bottom lid here. It's like a little bit puffy, the bottom lid, which I can see why you get that confused with the eye bag. But he doesn't really have big puffy eye bags. He has puffy lower lids. And they're not even really all that puffy. They just kind of like merge into this fold here. I would go back to this mouth too. His mouth seems super small. No, we don't. We just sculpt everything. We basically sculpt it like this. I believe at Naughty Dog they do that. They sculpt the eyes, the mouth half open and the eyes half closed. But it doesn't really matter. Your tech art team will find a way to do all that. And yeah, you see how like this I can't remember what this part of the nose is called, but this is like way over. His nose is super fucked up. We gotta get a picture of his. We gotta get a picture of his mouth closed because I gotta be able to critique this mouth. Tom Cruise front view. Whoa, someone did a terrible Tom Cruise. Doesn't look like him at all. Whoa, look at this one. See, someone did a Tom Cruise. Doesn't really look like Tom Cruise though. Can I get one picture of him just not fucking smiling? I can't find any. I can kind of find one. It's a little bit tilted, but okay. You're definitely missing like mass here. Your mouth is like too crazy, so I would straighten that out just a little bit. And add some of that mass back in here. And then make his lower lip much bigger. His lower lip needs to be way bigger. And maybe a tad wider. Yep, I don't think his mouth is wide enough. I'm looking at the should be with like just the inside edge of the pupils, and it's just not wide enough. His mouth is just too small. That mouth needs to come much wider. All right. I'm done with this one. Yes, someone said septum. Yes, thank you. The septum is what I was thinking of for this. It is septum. That's what it is. Yeah, a lot of you guys need to have more mass here. There's a lot of mass. There's more mass than you think. That follow up to the septum. Okay, likeness Tom Cruise. I'm gonna post all these photoshops on my Discord, so make sure you join my Discord if you want to get these files. Okay, Grim. You said you PM'd me. Okay, lots of stuff. Woo! Grimrock, do you have the reference for the face? The Discord group is at the bottom. If you scroll down, if you scroll down to social media, all my social media should be down below. I think Nightbot posted it too. Okay. So I think I've already given you a lot of feedback on the clothes. I'm just gonna give you feedback on. Thank you, Tuxedo. I think I'm gonna give you. I don't have anything to say about the mechanics. Because I think a lot of this is really wicked. This is super cool. Is she supposed to look like a doll? Because even from the mechanics, D-Maxar, how's it going? I'm doing pretty well. Just doing some feedback for everybody. Okay, so bye, Tom Cruise. Everybody say goodbye to Tom Cruise. Open link. Open link. Open link. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, I should have put them in separate. Bitch, I can't see. There we go. Christ. All right. You're going for a Deus Ex. Okay, artificial person vibe. Okay. Okay. So here's the whole character, just so we can see the character. I do want to say great job so far on the mechanics. They look awesome. I think my only critique on the mechanics is that there's not enough silhouette breaking stuff. I think maybe you can kind of enhance some of the forms. Like you see, you have like these ledges here. I think you can kind of fatten those up just a little bit to break the silhouette. You need to have, that first read. So you have that first read, but you also need the second read as well, which is this shape here. Right? I'm afraid that some of these edges aren't gonna bake down quite well. So I would try and maybe just take an inflate brush and just put on a very low intensity and sort of kind of come in here and inflate these edges a little bit, fatten them up, pull some of these shapes out a little bit, just so you can get a better read on the silhouette. I think that's one of my only critiques for these guys, because I think they're super cool. How you design mechanics, like I think this is rad too. I think you did a pretty good job on all this mechanical stuff. And really, really clean, like very clean. I love how clean this is. Well, you did a good job because the shapes are super clean. It doesn't. A lot of people have like they have like the blobby shapes when they try and do hard surface in ZBrush, and there's none of that here. So good job. Now, let's talk about this face. Where's my pure ref? I'm gonna get everybody's shit out of my pure ref. Okay. So you gotta get reference for this ear. Where are you? View, show, pixel grid. Yeah, you gotta get reference for this image or for this ear, cause it's very, very rough. Let's see. Do I have the Asian lady that Anatomy for Sculptors did? I thought I did. Let's try it. Let's Google this for a second. Facebook. Cool. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go to their face. I'm gonna go to Anatomy for Sculptors Facebook and find a reference image. Very specific reference image. Where are you? Where are you? Fuck. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You're here somewhere. Oh my goodness, they got so many photos. Aha! Found it. Asia girl. Not an exact Asian girl, but yeah, I drink lots of coffee, dude. I drink so much coffee. But yeah, dude, anytime you want feedback, I'll give it to you. So I think you got to go back and kind of do what everyone else, what I critique from everybody else. Even though you want it to look kind of like doll or like kind of like the Ghost in the Shell people, the anatomy of the face has still got to be has got to be there. I think your forehead is too flat. nose just kind of comes out almost like a Asian people generally have a very like, they're like missing this part. Like this part is very flat. So usually it comes down, and it's kind of very, very flat right here. As you can see right here, super, super flat. And then we have the nose. And they usually have more round. Oops, I'm drawing on the thing again. Okay. So forehead angle too flat. Oh, sorry. My current girlfriend is from China, and she has very flat features. I mean, that's just how their skulls are shaped. What the fuck? Oh. I control Z to add my, it doesn't matter. So, okay. So very flat, and then very round. This is, I don't even know what to say. Like, this has gotta like be completely resculpted, I think. I got some pretty good reference right here, actually. Yeah, remember, you have the helix and the anti-helix. So, bam, bam. I mean, you got it, but it's really, really rough. And then you're missing this part right here. Like, so the helix goes inside, and then you have these notches here. And this notch connects into the anti-helix, and then you have this part that comes down and connects into the lobe. So you're missing this, and I don't know what this big ball is here. That mass there is not correct on any reference. Alright, now let's talk about the zygomatic. Now, they've pointed out, and this is generally true, the zygomatic, okay. The zygomatic, okay. So, there we go. This is more appropriate. Rounder head for an Asian, like they've got. Dips into the nose. Okay. And the zygomatic needs to come back quite a bit. As well as the lips. So definitely always making sure that we have this draft angle there, which you've got, but just bring it back a little bit more. So the eyes are too far apart. Yeah, I would look at the skulls for the so if you're trying to do other races, I would look at skull anatomy. So let's just do like a liquefy of what this should look like. So very flat zygomatic. Very, very flat nose arch. Right there. The ears are just way too big and not in the right spot. Here, let's fix some of this stuff. Even though she's Asian, she's still gotta have human proportions. So you still gotta move this into the correct. Well, now she looks a little cross-eyed, but we'll squish. I think that might be because of that. The sphere on the inside is facing this way, so it looks like that. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna do my best with this tool. Well, actually, let's try using this tool maybe. Yeah, okay. Come on. All right. I'll have to liquefy this. Okay, those spaces are correct. I have this space is not, so I'll have to liquefy that. Okay. So I use a Cintiq. And her jaw is like crazy wide, so whoa, no. Try and be a little bit more subtle here. Okay. Widen the bridge of the nose. Flush the lips out a lot more. So now it's a little bit more realistic. What's going on, Plasma? So now I have a little bit more like realistic representation. Not like perfect, obviously, because I did it in Photoshop, but kind of a good enough guideline to get you there, I think. And then find some like realistic reference. When you're sculpting, always have your reference on the side. Never sculpt without it. Okay. So let's pop out of here. And then I'm going to save this for you. Don't worry about this. Don't use this as a guideline, but like, just know that these are like general corrections. Like, use real reference as a guideline. Don't use what I've done here as a guideline. Okay. All right. Cool. So I think that was everybody. Yeah, I think that was everybody. I'm not gonna do any more today. If you decide to post at the last second, sorry. Yeah, no worries. So let's. I'm just gonna click off of this stuff. I'll post all this stuff in the Discord. So. That's it for Feedback Fridays. So this is a new thing that I'm doing. Feedback Fridays I'm going to do every Friday. I'm not going to go... I'm only going to do an hour next week. So make sure you guys get your stuff into me beforehand. I can show you. So I just did this. And I'll bring up the zero sculpt, I guess. I think I've got it. No, I don't have that. God damn it. Okay, that's fine. I have to open up ZBrush. Yes. Oh, you saw a drawing earlier? Oh no, no one's gonna see that. I'm actually gonna edit the stream. I'm gonna edit that out of the stream. It's late. It's 10 p.m. So this is what I'm working on right now. I'll bring up the ZBrush file. So this is gonna be Feedback Fridays. Make sure you guys get your stuff to me earlier in the week, or earlier on Friday. So make sure you get some stuff. Make sure you have new stuff for me. Don't show me old stuff from during the week. And what was I gonna say? Let me know in the Discord what you liked about, like, if you like Feedback Fridays, if you think this is a good idea. I'm also going to be streaming more often. I will be streaming now 3 days a week. Of course, I don't have any of this shit turned on. So this is what I was working on. For those of you who have never been to my stream before, gotta get rid of all this other shit. Make sure you thanks. So I'll be streaming on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and so Tuesdays and Thursdays are regular streams. Friday is only going to be an hour feedback stream, so make sure you get me your stuff for Feedback Friday. And Saturday will be a regular stream. So Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 o'clock, and Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays at 8 o'clock. Saturday at 2 p.m. Whenever I can, because when I come home from work, I'm pretty tired. Also, those times are flexible. Fuck you, ZBrush. Those times are super flexible, so it'll be 8 or 8:30. Some days I need to stay late at work, and I need to be there till like 8 o'clock, and I won't be able to get home till 8:30. So like, just know that there is going to be some flexibility there on those on the times, but it's only going to be like a half-hour difference. So don't. It's not too big. I can't say plasma. Yeah, okay, so thank you for everybody who came today. Make sure you follow me on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or not Facebook. Don't find me on Facebook. Instagram, Twitter, follow me here on Twitch. Make sure if you want feedback during the week, make sure you get on the Discord. ArtStation, yes, follow me on ArtStation. All the links are down below. And follow me here on Twitch, of course. Tomorrow I will be working on this guy. I will be doing the test bakes for this guy. So we're gonna be baking everything, seeing what's wrong, what can be improved. So that'll be an interesting process, because you'll get to see like what stuff works, what stuff doesn't work, where are the mistakes I've made, and that'll be kind of nice to see. And then I may have to go back and edit the low poly, so you never know. Edit the low poly and the UVs for better bakes and stuff. So yeah, that's it. Thank you all for coming. That is the end of the stream. I appreciate it. Like I said, follow me on all social media. I will see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock California time. 2 p.m. California time. Okay? Don't miss it. Goodbye. Oh, let's raid somebody. No one go yet. We're gonna raid somebody. Find somebody to raid. Let's raid Bella. Okay. All right, you guys ready? All right, come on. All right. All right, everybody. Just click on the red. Just click on the button. Almost there. One more person. Come on, one more person. No, no, no. Come on, one more person. All right, we're rating.
This is great. So basically, I've been working on this Raven concept, and I was just dealing with some issues with substance. But yeah, I'm just trying to fix that right now. But yeah, on the lower left side, you can see the render that I'm working on right now. I have brought others. You mean I brought them? Thanks, Scrim, and thanks, Sphere. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for joining. Let me see. I'm just trying to fix this at this point. Raven is the best Titan. Yes, I agree. 100%. Oh, I found it. You know what? It's fine. I don't need the guys.
No, those head UVs are terrible.
Hello, R2 Log. Terra's pretty cool too, but Raven is superior, clearly. Yeah, Raven's cool. I mean, okay, I've done literally 3 versions of this Raven for reasons, but I really, basically, I really like Raven. So I mainly do stuff for like some VFX slash feature. So right now I'm like texturing the substance is the first for me for like animation stuff because I normally texture with like Mario models. But I'm just like pushing myself to like use substance more. So I'm doing that and I'm rendering in Arnold. Art is king. Yeah. Right now I'm really missing like being able to paint across textures because I am using evens. So it's kind of like, okay, this is great. I hate E-Ray. Yeah, someone was asking me earlier, like which one I would prefer or something like that, but it's Arnold because it's just more intuitive. E-Ray, E-Ray is cool. It gives you a lot of like more options, I guess, to like mess around with parameters. But I really like Arnold because it's just straight to the point. I've never used Mario before. It's really cool. I mean, you should, give it a try, especially if you're trying to do like, I don't know, I guess more realistic stuff or more VFX stuff. But it's always so nice to just be able to like texture like paint textures across, because that's like the main pet peeve I have about it. I have to like click every single time. Yeah. Have you tried render mode? I haven't yet. Yeah, it's something I want to get used to, but it seems pretty easy. I was reading like the documentation actually. Paint across units is coming soon for soon. Yeah. I think I saw that like 6 months ago, and I've been waiting. It's still not there. So yeah, it's great. But yeah, I did see that. I mean, one day. But like, bro, how soon is soon? I don't know. I wish I like knew. I could set my calendar. It would be a holiday. We would all rejoice. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I hope they do that soon, but honestly, I have no idea. Drinks on me. Yeah, that deserves going out. Just celebrate because we have units and substance. No, but I actually really like this method of texture. I was random plug, but like I was watching Flip Normal's tutorial, like how to do hand painted textures and stuff. And this is the method they were using. I don't know if everyone does this, but I wasn't really taught how to do it this way at least. So it's like nice to just work with like masks. Yeah.
Oh man, no.
Yeah. Jesus, I have like a flashlight there. Oh gosh. What is it? Oh my gosh. I like Justin Bieber's last album. I mean, I don't know if this is his last album that we're listening to right now, but I like this song, so you know what? Don't judge me. And Dara says, I need you people who want to do like status stuff. Everyone's welcome though. Like, I have people who are doing like realistic stuff in it. It's a fun time. I literally just started like last